Yoga for healing. How are all the star seeds? And what's up, karmics? Yeah. All eyes on you, baby. Watch if you please. It's only gonna hurt. Because you will be hearing the truth about you. Along with everyone else. Do you think that the ones that are here on their purpose will stop? Is that what you think? If they're like me, they're only will go harder. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Grapevine. I heard something you're going to be interested in. I think that's a message for those karmics that are watching. All the readers. Just wishing we don't know. Keep asking yourselves, do we know? Do we know? Yeah, we know. Future. I'm thinking ahead and wondering what our relationship will be like in the future. Someone's thinking about you in the future. Holy Spirit Divine, is this about these damn karmics again? Or is this about someone new? But I do also know a lot of the good things that are coming to us will not be on the table. You may get a clue of something, but the story won't be told because trust source knows, and they're not going to allow these critters to gain any more information than they need to. They're not going to be able to brag. In the future, they will not be bragging. They won't be going around saying, oh, I can't wait to tell you the amazing things that happened to me, because they're not happening. This is their future. You're thinking ahead, the ancestors are about to tell you a little something, something. Support and love. I'm here to support and elevate you. Love. I love you and I only want you to add happiness to your life. That's what love is. Not for them to bring their bills and their drama, their baby mamas or baby daddies. That's not what love is. Love is adding, not subtracting. And these karmics got it twisted. Putting themselves in their own imprisonment of having to look this way or that way because they see it on TV or somebody else has it. They're used to tricks. I have ill intentions and maybe planning on deceiving you. Speak, Holy Spirit. Tell it divine. It's always on time. We are supported. We are loved. In the future, these losers will not be bragging about the tricks that they've played on those that are supported by the ancestors and of love. That's the short, sweet end of the story in under 5 minutes. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see and discover the truth. Love is not rocket science. It's something you have within you already, or you don't. And we are not all made the same. There are different species, and we have been blended. We talk about clones, and at the same time, you're not realizing you might be sitting next to one. Cabbage Patch Kids, test tube babies. Those whose ancestors came on the orphan trains. That are not divine ones. They don't have that mitochondria, that DNA. But these solar rays is going to make the split to see the difference. Self-love is the way through. And first you must start with you. Self-love is a beautiful thing. I know I love myself. I love my body. I love my hair. I love my smile. I love the way I love. And these demons they'll never change that. The only difference is they won't ever see it again. And that's their choice. That's their will. The future. I'm thinking ahead and wondering what our relationship will be in the future. It's in reverse. It won't be going round and round in cycles because you've already learned this lesson. But as far as them, yeah, you're rejecting. Listen up. The Holy Spirit is talking. Listen up, karmics. This cycle is closed. You have nothing to brag about. You are trapped. Trapped in your own thoughts. Trapped in your own words and deeds. You have nothing to brag about. You're more than fed up. You're not just fed up. You're more than fed up because you don't want to accept it's too late. You want to pretend. You're putting on a persona because you're using magic when you're actually in a vicious firestorm of your own spells. You wanted things your way, you get it your way. All that energy you projected, all those words of venom, you wanting your way, being selfish and stubborn, stuck in your pride and ego, being arrogant, now needing support. You're trying to manifest this. You're still doing spell work while you're in a firestorm. What kind of energy is that? It's definitely not a human being. This is not normal. They want support. They want your support because they're going through chaos of an ego death now, a downward spiral, a spiritual awakening by force. This has been repeated. They're being forced into meditation and healing. They're used to drinking, having this toxic lifestyle. They need to learn to love themselves first and show the universe. What about this healing? Karmic ties. Karmic ties that they're tied to from their spell work. Someone they may have popped the question to. They may be in a deep commitment, much deeper than what they were aware of. Because do you see that spell work being blown directly on them? This firestorm I was going to say back turn. This boomerang of their spell work with this firestorm is headed straight to them. They're sitting in it. Karmic ties, what is this? Yeah, they're rejected. And they're left fucked up over you because you are love. They love you and only want to add happiness to your life, but they cannot add happiness because they are not in happiness and this cycle is closed. They will not get their wishes, their manifestations. They are fucked up over you, not your issue. Love, Holy Spirit. What do we need to know? This card, love. Don't dwell in the past on these past loves. You're not trapped in the past. You use it for a lesson and you keep it moving. You use it for leverage to prop yourself up in a greater position. All this energy they use, you knew how to transmute and alchemize. They wanted a love child. And what about this not being stuck in the past and these memories and reminiscing? Happily single, doing you, dating stress-free, setting goals. It wanted to come sideways, but that's some other energy because you have moved on from this jackass. You're aware. You don't have to see it with your two eyes. When you read energy, you read between the lines. They can't hide. Not this jackass. This round and round, and this cycle is closed because this is not a divine energy. Masculine or feminine. You see their true colors, which is causing this firestorm, this karma, their drama, endings, and having lots of loss because it's spell work. Not shocking news, at least it shouldn't be, of these endings. There will be endings. It depends on them how it ends. Spiritual awakenings are nothing to play with. They're nothing to play about. You're playing with source. In a love-hate, shadow side existence of sex addictions. They're having a hard time releasing this, breaking this cycle, going through this awakening, because they're used to mirroring and just having reckless sex, not praying. What about this praying and meditation? They're too busy. They're too busy to invest in themselves or to break these karmic ties. And now they're being rejected and under pressure because they needed to make a decision in a matter of time, thinking that it would never run out. This karmic tie is being sat down. They're being blocked and rejected. They're being forced into this hybrid mode. Hermit hybrid. Oh gosh. Hybrid. So we're dealing with hybrids. They only know how to mirror. That's why they're on, off, hot, cold, and detached, because they have no emotions. They only know how to mirror them. It is extremely important. Don't play fake busy with yourself. You better learn these karmic lessons and the karmic ties that you need to reject, or you'll be sat down with them in this toxic lifestyle. What about this drinking sideways, this toxic lifestyle? Yeah, like I said, if you don't cut the ties, you're making a decision with the universe of saying yes by default. Because where are you sitting? Who are you communicating with? Know your power. If you do not stop the karmic ties and reject them, the Holy Spirit is saying you will be sat down and stuck in this toxic lifestyle, sex addictions, and trapped. How much more can it be clear? These ones, these hybrids, are the ones that are acting the most psycho, crazy, obsessed, and won't let go because they don't know how. They can't. So you know how those endings will be. Most likely in a casket. You've moved on. You're happy. You have a strong bond coming in the future. Right now, your bond is with the universe. And they're in massive regrets. What do we need to know about married? Yeah, you know they're fucked up over you. They miss you. And you're turning your back. Off and into the sunset. Away from this backstabber. Away from the mind games and love bombing and deception. They only know how to be of pain, lies, and stealing. They only know about tricks, and they have ill intentions. They plan to deceive you. This is a warning. Don't be decepted. They will be caught. They're already caught. Uncovering evidence. Things are being exposed. They're cheating, their lies, they're stealing. All of their facade, their persona is broken. The spell work is going back on them. And it's not shocking news to us because we know they're only of a love-hate. They are in need of support because they're forced into a spiritual awakening and ego deaths and many loss. They're not able to mirror the truth and be real because real only recognize real for a true love story. This was once upon a time. This divine masculine is not divine. The cycle has ended. Insecure in reverse. It's a time for them to gain some security. You're not insecure. But the truth is being revealed. They expected you to be insecure, to be in your head, to continue these cycles, and for them to have as much time as they needed. But you're not insecure. They're not able to brag about making you overwhelmed because that backfires occurring on them. They wish to burn the evidence. They don't want there to be a total drama of their actions. They don't want that known. They don't want it known of their true identity and how they're going through a forced spiritual awakening, no longer able to mirror you, but now stuck and rejected, stuck in their toxicity of their addictions. What about this insecure? Okay, so they're probably still feeling proud. They still think they can brag, but they can't because they're living in a fantasy. This is a straight up nutcase. And I'm not trying to be mean, but you're not dealing with a human being. This is someone that has been possessed. And it's game over for them. It's game over for this karmic lesson, this karmic ties. They have already been rejected. They are trapped. They're stuck, and they don't even realize it. By their own tricks and their own backstabbing. We don't even need to go any further on this message. It's game over. But let's see. What is the energies in this read? Because we're not going to dim our light. We're not going to lower our voices. We're never going to fear. For what? A big bully? Let's get it. Judgment, bitch. And you're hearing this from the Holy Spirit. Take it in. It's time for your awakening. Whoa, what is this? A Knight of Wands. A Knight of Pentacles is having judgment called upon them. Let's see. Right now, they're all at a decision. They're stuck at a stalemate because they had difficult choices to make and they didn't. They wanted to have hidden information, and that kept them stuck, trapped in a self-imprisonment. And what about this Knight of Wands? What about this Knight of Wands energy? They want control. They're in a Knight of Swords energy, coming towards you, full speed. They have a lot of insecurities. They're stingy and they are in need of stability. This person is of materialistic values, surface pleasures, and they're stuck in their head in past memories. Someone you may have known in childhood or someone you've known for a while, or it may have even been a long time ago that you knew them. But someone's thinking of you, whoever's approaching you that's wanting this power, this control. They are ill in the head. They're not stable. They're going to come in as a King of Cups. They're going to come in gentle, soft, like they have control of themselves because they want to put on a facade. Remember, this person is trying to fulfill a fantasy. And they're stuck. And they're under judgment right now as they're planning this dirty little deed. And what about this Knight of Pentacles? Broken-hearted. Going through a lot of pains. Heartbreak and grief. Because they're in need of healing. They're going through this ego death. What about this stinginess and this hate and this hurt of this grief? They need you to pour into them. They're bone dry. What about this heartbreak? They're both stuck in their head. They're both stuck in the past. They're both trapped. Stuck. Why are these two working together, Holy Spirit? King of Swords. So did a King of Swords bring them together? What's going on with this King of Swords? Oh, King of Swords is in anxiety. Can't sleep. Having nightmares. What is up with this? What else do we need to know about this group? They're in need of finances. They're in need of your energy. They're in need of your destiny. But they're meeting a tower. And they're under judgment. So the second they step to open the door to come toward you, or maybe they'll be allowed to get in their car. There's going to be a big upheaval. This is going to be game over for a backstabber that likes to play tricks and has ill intent. They're going to meet this transformation and they're going to hit hard, extremely hard, but it's by their own will, their own choice. They're going to see exactly how highly you're protected and loved. Peace.